नगर्मणा प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमरत्वमानसुः परेण नागन्निहितं गृहायां बिभ्राजयेदद्यदयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसनिष्ठितार्थाः सन्न्यासयोगाद्यतयः शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तपदान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ते सर्वे नग्रं विपापं परमेष्टुभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं परमध्यसत्त्वस्तम् तत्रापि दग्रं गगनं विलोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपासिरव्यम् यो वेदादस्वरप्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रहृतलीलस्य यत्परस्य महेश्वरः श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्।
ओम महागणाधिपतये नमः। महासरस्वत्यै नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। हरिः ओम. Namaskaram everyone. A center like Chinmaya Mission plays a key role in nurturing spiritual growth by making teachers from textbooks like Bhagavad Gita, all the Vedas, Puranam, and all the Shastras. When it comes to Chinmaya Mission, it will comes to mind is always about Vedantam. Each person will have their own view to look at the Chinmaya Mission. We as a Chinmaya Mission Pittsburgh here, we are serving in lot ways to the community. One side will be, bhakti way, jnanam way. When you took the ultimate way will be the vairagya sthiti, and after that that path leads to the moksha bhaga. We as a Chinmaya Mission, we are doing, when it comes to puja karma, we do lot of things, like we are involving many people. They will be coming and participating. We are trying our best to explain why we do these things. When it comes to Chinmaya Mission, many places in back home in Bharat, many will go visit the temples. When you say, all the parents will say to kids, go and ring the bell, they'll ring the bell. They won't ask any questions. When it comes to in United States and America, many kids will ask, first question is, why I need to ring the bell? Why I need to take prasadam? Why I need to participate in pujas or jnana yajnas? When it comes to Chinmaya Mission will give a right reason to believe them. In modern life, how we can able to improve our lives? When it comes to Chinmaya Mission is helping towards improve our modern life. At the same time, when you learn about Bhagavad Gita, it will tell you about many beautiful things. Not only jnana, at the same time, you should participate in certain way. Spiritually, our body has to active. When it comes to Chinmaya Mission, it is all about self-realization. We as a Chinmaya Mission, we are giving that energy, we are passing that energy to each and every individual person. They can make, whether they do puja karma, whether they do jnana karma, individual development side, or self-discipline, or inner peace. Overall, it connects timelessly wisdom with today's challenges and supporting both personal growth and meaningful living. Thank you very much.
गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा, गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा, मेरे जीवन का अवलंबन है, बस एक यही मेरा बल है, गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा, अवलंबन है, बस एक यही मेरा बल है, गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा। अज्ञान भरे, संशय से भरे, विपरीत विचारों से भी भरे, वचनामृत से तव बोध कृपा गुरु अंधकार को दूर करे वचनामृत से तव बोध कृपा गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा जीवन पथ पर गुरु साथ मेरे रक्षक बन कर पल पल पग पग जीवन पथ पर गुरु साथ मेरे रक्षक बन कर बिसरूं न कभी यह प्रेममयी आनंदमयी भवदीय कृपा बिसरूं न कहीं यह प्रेममयी भवदीय कृपा गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा मेरे जीवन का अवलंबन है बस एक यही मेरा बल है गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा गुरुदेव तव महनीय कृपा
Hari Om Sheila and Sujana. Can you please share your experience with Swaranjali in Chinmaya Mission Pittsburgh?
Sure. So this group, I think Sheila and myself jointly started in 2015. The inspiration is purely just Guruji because his motto, as you know, is from Swara to Ishwara. So the idea is to bring music to everyone, regardless of whether they have trained classically or not, because it's all about bhakti and collectively just reaching that divine source through our music.
Even in Navavidha Bhakti, one of the modes of devotion is Kirtanam. And what better way to display our bhakti and offer our bhakti to Bhagwan by way of singing, collectively singing or doing Nama Sankirtanam of Bhagwan. So Swaranjali is just, we meet every Friday and we all try to offer our devotion to Bhagwan.
Hari Om. We here at Chinmaya Mission Amarnath Kitchen, as well as the Chinmaya Sanjeevani Kitchen, are inspired by our Chinmaya Mission pledge, and especially the words, "We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined." We have our goal and our mission is to serve clean, homemade food made by volunteers, all of the volunteers here, to the Chinmaya Mission community, whether it's during Balavihar lunch or to the devotees who visit us here at the Chinmaya Amarnath temple. As our pledge says, we have also been inspired by the words, "We give more than we take." And so the Chinmaya Amarnath kitchen has been now functioning for over 4 years. And we have slowly transitioned to using very many eco-friendly practices here within the temple. One of the first changes we have made are to use steel plates, steel utensils, etc. And that has helped us reduce our waste by not using disposable containers and things like that. We've also in our cleaning room here, our dishwashing room, installed a commercial dishwasher that not only sanitizes all of the utensils, but uses as little water as possible. and also uses cold water, which saves us a lot on fuel and gas. And then besides that, we use other practices like clubbing all of our grocery shopping together, so it uses less fuel. In shopping trips, keeping a very tight hold of our inventory, so we are not being wasteful in our purchases. And then also having rules such as our kitchen will never buy plastic bags, nor will our kitchen ever buy plastic water bottles. So we do have steel glasses that people use when they want to drink water. We have these big containers that is filled with water. And very, very soon we are going to have our own water dispenser, again, alleviating the need for using anything that is disposable. Thank you. One thing that we've done over the past 3 years is we've installed a commercial dishwasher. The advantage of using a commercial dishwasher is that it's only a 1-minute wash cycle, not only saving us water while it's disinfecting our utensils, but the dishwasher also does not dry. And how that helps us is that we are using less electricity for drying our utensils. We have also over time kept data of how many devotees we have purchasing food from our kitchen, or how many Bal Vihar families we have who purchase food during our Bal Vihar lunch on Sundays. This data has helped us fine-tune how much food to cook and when, preventing wastage of food. And additionally, we have developed relationships with local community organizations. So if we do have food left over, it is all clean food that is always prepared the same day. And so we are able to donate our food to these community organizations, hence not only helping our Chinmaya community, but also the greater community that we are responsible.
Chapter 12 was, again, as you guys know, for some context, Bhakti Yoga. So basically being a devotee is what this entire chapter was about. So when we look at verses 19 and 20, the main things that we can take away from it are that we must remain steady as individuals. Now, what does that mean and what does that constitute? Now, basically what that means is that regardless of something good or bad happening, we must remain steady and the same. So take the first case and a bad thing happening. Let's say someone next to you makes a mean comment to you. Obviously, we're entitled to feeling bad. We think we're going to feel worse about ourselves. Or when someone says something good to you, you start feeling a bit higher. Now, what Krishna is saying here is that regardless of something good or bad happening to you, you must maintain your individual integrity. That meaning, you must remain the same, not going too high and not becoming too low. It doesn't matter what someone says about you, you're still yourself. You still hold the same value of your own individuality. And if someone's saying nice things about you, you can't get too high. You must remain humble. And it's these exact principles of remaining steady, remaining humble, and believing in your own ability that allow you to be the best possible individual version of yourself. And finally, verse 20 kind of just says that it's these very people, these very devotees, who are consistently acting selflessly, consistently believing in not only Krishna but themselves, and also remaining humble, that are dearest to Krishna. And so for that reason, we must devote ourselves to Krishna in that very way. And that's the verse.
Some of the stories that you hear in Bal Vihar of individuals from our Puranas and our scriptures, of people who are like this, can you think of any? Narada. Narada is always calm and collected, yes? Who else? Prahalad. Right? All the things that his father is trying to do to him, and yet he's always calm, never gets too angry, never gets angry at all. Yes?
Can you explain what is Bhakti Yoga?
Multiple ways of loving the God in terms of devotion.
Do you like chanting Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
How did you learn Gita?
My mom helped me. I just tried to focus, and my goal was to do one each day.
Word, learn Gita. So if I know the meaning of a word in the sloka, then I'll be like, okay, it's this word, so it's this sloka, and then this is the sloka that's next.
How long did it take for you to learn a verse?
2 days. About 2 days. When I was first learning it took me like around 2 or 3 weeks. But to revise it, when I already know it only takes like a day or two.
Why do you like chanting Gita every day?
It improves your health and all that. It clears my mind. My parents quiz me, and that helps me spend more time with them.
Does chanting Gita help with your work?
Yes, it helped me to focus on just my work rather than focusing on the fruits of outcome.
I always say Bhagavad Gita, and it always helps me in many different ways and many different forms.
Listening to the audio verses, and in particular the Sanskrit script helped me for stressing the aksharas.
In chapter 12, I like 18 and 19. So I'll just chant the verses. Samashatrau cha mitre cha tathamana pamanayoho shitoshna sukha dukkheshu samassanga vivarjitaha.
So as a parent, how did you prep your kids for Bhagavad Gita?
Actually, it was an enjoyable opportunity for both of us, and we did practice. We tried to practice almost every day.
We should lead by example. So I started chanting, and I asked my kids also to sit with me, and that is how we are doing it as a family now.
Nice. Very lucky because of Chinmaya mission we have a chance to learn Gita and chant Gita. Please utilize that opportunity.
If you don't know anything about Gita, you can still join. We will help you learn. Just join this Gita and we will train them well.
Between all the ordinary folks, all the ordinary minds, all the ordinary people, Rudra is available in all of them as well. And in terms of the cause-effect chain that we talked about, all those intermediary causes also, Rudra is the middleman there. He appears as the middle one there. And this word, apagalbha, means so that which is not fully developed or that which is still developing, not mature as an infant. So this intermediary stage of anything is called this, and Rudra is available in those processes as well. So this process of evolution and growth and the emerging of consciousness or refining of consciousness that happens from a child to an adult, for example, this is also Rudra is present.
So Narada Bhakti Sutras, of course, Narada Mahamuni just gives a very capsulated sentences, which are the sutras, and takes us through what devotion is and how a devotee are and what do we get from devotion and things like that. So he first describes devotion as Parama Bhakti, it's like a ultimate love. And so today Gurudev's talk actually nicely describes that we use these two terms, love and devotion, and how to distinguish between the two. Ultimately, devotion is defined as ultimate love, but we use it very colloquially, so he distinguishes the both aspects of that. And then, of course, what is that ultimate devotion's main thing is desirelessness. In the sense, no desire towards worldly things. The only desire is, I want Bhagavan all the time. So, and where would that desirelessness comes from like they describe two terms, ananyata and udasinata, where the first term, ananyata, describes that except for Bhagavan, I don't have any other, nothing else that I desire in this world, that ananya prema, no other than Bhagavan. And udasinata is anything in the world that takes me away from Bhagavan, I don't want it. So that is that udasinata, like having that feeling of, I don't care whatever it is. In fact, Swamiji describes that udasinata is, if you look at Prahlada's story, there, or Shastra says you have to respect your father like God. Whereas when his father says that you cannot pray to Bhagavan, Prahlada decides that in that situation, the dharma is to, Bhagavan's devotion is higher than his dharma towards even his father, when father is giving him a wrong advice. So that udasinata is anything that is taking you away from Bhagavan's love, even if that is quoted as a dharma in the Shastras sometimes, you need to give that more importance. So that udasinata.
So what's the first scenario maybe?
That is the first scenario. So you're work stressed, you have deadlines. What can I do on a practical basis at this moment as I'm trying to prepare myself and train my mind? It might be artificial, but how do I start developing that habit? Ketki.
I think if like to if we have to train ourselves, we have to keep reminding ourselves. So even something as, artificial as setting an alarm, like can you stop every hour in your work and spend 30 seconds to do a japa or 1 minute to remember God, or ask yourself why is it that you're doing what you're doing? And if you're working on something at work, like what is the intention behind me working on this activity, like whatever questions you want to give yourself. So kind of doing that every hour will kind of set that artificial habit, which over time you won't need the crutch of the alarms. It may become habit over time. Or like setting, if you are somebody who wears an Apple Watch can detect times you're in stress and kind of give you that, take a deep breath, so that instead of taking a deep breath as it asks you to, could you do so that would be a very could you do a japa? That would be an artificial way to do it. I turned mine off because it kept going off, but that would be a good way to do it.
Very nice. So convert that pressure to some purpose and connect yourself to that. Excellent. Archana.
And in times when I find things difficult, when I reach this ceiling, I often think that Bhagwan has put me in this. He knows I have strength to do this. I may not know this. So I just have to find that Bhagwan would not put me in this situation until it was good for me or until I could do it. So sometimes thinking like that gives me some relief. Yeah.
Excellent. Nice. So converting that ego into an offering. You, Bhagwan, you gave me this role, this ability. Let me handle it. Lavanya.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one more point to what Archana ji just mentioned. First thing, I think whenever we think that we are in a difficult situation, that difficult situation is basically an exam for us to see how stable we are in our life and how much we are thinking. At the same time, for me, whenever I see that I see a situation different from my current every day, I don't think it as a difficulty, but I think it as like, okay, go with the flow. This is just the time, it will just pass.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how I usually take.
Right.
Nice. You control the effort and not the results, and that takes away the pressure of that moment. Excellent.
Did you send
somehow people are just remembering it. It's saying everything in order for this document. So Sunil, you have to get the fourth one now.
No pressure, Sunil. This is your real life scenario.
Yeah. So I thought of actually. My thought was similar to what Archana ji was explaining, where if you continue doing that, it would automatically come to your example. You're late, you're missing a flight, or you're in a security line, right? And you don't know whether you will reach the gate. Automatically, today, I start chanting so that I'll get the strength, which currently, due to my actions, I left behind. But there is an invisible power that's gonna support me. I'm gonna reach that. Same thing with any challenge that we are facing. It's the belief and trust. Keep it on him so that eventually you're gonna find the strength required, or reduce the threshold to increase more and more trust on him.
Nice. Converting that stress into awareness of where you're, but Swamiji always tells us, right? Keep your mind where your hands are. That's where it should be, not in the future, not in some past regret. Keep it where it is. Focus on that moment, on what you can control right then and there.
सर्वसर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर
वामदेवाय नमः स्नानं समर्पयामि ज्येष्ठाय नमः वस्त्रार्थे अक्षतान् समर्पयामि श्रेष्ठाय नमः उपवीतार्थे अक्षतान् समर्पयामि रुद्राय नमः आभरणार्थे अक्षतान् समर्पयामि कालाय नमः परिमलश्रीगन्धं समर्पयामि कलविकरणाय नमः बिल्वदलं समर्पयामि बलविकरणाय नमः धवलाक्षतान् समर्पयामि ह्रीं नमः शिवाय यथाशक्तिपूजाम् आचरिष्ये
ॐ भवाय देवाय नमः ॐ सर्वाय देवाय नमः
ईशानाय देवाय नमः ॐ पशुपतेर्देवाय नमः ॐ रुद्राय देवाय नमः उग्राय देवाय नमः ॐ भीमाय देवाय नमः ॐ महतो देवाय नमः ॐ भवस्य देवस्य पत्न्यै नमः ॐ शर्वस्य देवस्य पत्न्यै नमः ॐ ईशानस्य देवस्य पत्न्यै नमः ॐ पशुपतेर्देवस्य पत्न्यै नमः ॐ रुद्रस्य देवस्य पत्न्यै नमः ॐ उग्रस्य देवस्य पत्न्यै नमः ॐ भीमस्य देवस्य पत्न्यै नमः ॐ महतो देवस्य पत्न्यै नमः
ॐ शिवाय नमः ॐ महेश्वराय नमः ॐ शम्भवे नमः ॐ पिनाकिने नमः ॐ शतशेखराय नमः ॐ वामदेवाय नमः ॐ विरूपाक्षाय नमः ॐ कपर्दिने नमः ॐ नीललोहिताय नमः ॐ शङ्कराय नमः ॐ शूलपाणिने नमः ॐ
I wonder now, this is, like I said, the culminating verse, the critical verse of this chapter. Let's listen to it.
Karmanyakirmayah pashyed akarmani cha karmayah sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayukta krishna karma krita.
So he says here, he who recognizes inaction in action and action in inaction is wise among men. He is a yogin and a true performer of all actions. So you might read this and say, what is he saying? What is Bhagavan even talking about? This is considered one of the naughty verses. And it's naughty in the sense of a knot. It's also naughty in another sense. You see, it is said that Vyasa had to dictate the entirety of Mahabharata, including Gita. He had to dictate it to Ganesha. And Ganesha would write with his trunk. And Ganesha agreed to that. But he said, I'll only do it if I never have to stop writing. You have to dictate so efficiently that I won't stop. I should not have to stop. And Vyasa thought for a bit, and he said, okay, I agree to that, but you cannot write until you understand what I say. Unless you have understood fully what I'm saying, you can't write it. That was his condition. And Ganesha agreed. So it is said that Vyasa had to come up with some verses scattered throughout Bharatam, and especially in Gita, that forces Ganesha to pause and understand, process the meaning of what Vyasa is saying. And this allows
the meaning
Vyasa,
of naughty is both naughty and naughty, like
right.
Vyasa
That's the other naughty meaning. And this verse is one of those where Ganesha has to pause, and it allows Vyasa to now think of the next 100 verses. So that's how this verse is written. It's written in a way that is paradoxical. What does it mean to see action in inaction, inaction in action? What does that mean? Well, who better to explain this than Gurudev himself? So we're going to play a clip of Swami Chinmaya talking about this very important verse.
This verse, how many times you listen to anyone, you still have doubts. Like, you seem to have understood when you're listening to it, but then again, when you're trying to think about it, again, and someone else explains a little bit more, it goes in. So.
He who recognizes in karma while doing action, he who recognizes inactivity and in inactivity, he who recognizes the highest activity, such a buddhiman, wise man, who has realized such a state is among mankind the noblest and the highest yogi. It looks like a corn. Corn means, that the Buddhist groups have got such stunning statements which makes you open your mouth. Listen carefully. The sound of clapping your hands with one hand. Huh? With one hand? How can you clap? Listen carefully. The sentence looks, that's something I must do. And at the end of it, it is not an action at all, because with one hand you can't clap. Koan, it is called. A statement that stuns the mind and intellect, and that is the moment when they realize the highest. This also looks like a chain of contradictions. In karma, he who can see akarma, meaning no action. So to see inaction in action and see action in inaction. Such an individual is the man of realization. What are you talking? Inaction, Buddha under the tree. Any socialist seeing it would say that such rascals should not be fed. They are unnecessarily eating the social money or the wealth or the food in the country, because the fool is not doing anything. He is sitting quietly because he is not physically doing. In that inaction, to recognize the highest activity of quietening the mind and realizing the highest. To be born in this land and not know the words of the Gita is like inheriting a palace and living in the cowshed. The Bhagavad Gita is not a book to be kept in the puja room. It is a manual for life, clear, practical, transformative. It wasn't whispered in a forest to some old bearded monk. It was thundered on a battlefield to a young prince in turmoil, just like today's youth. We proudly say, I am a Hindu, I am a Bharatiya. But what is the use of such pride without knowing even one verse from the Gita? Swamiji, I don't understand the Gita. Of course not. You've never gone near it. What we are unfamiliar with, we avoid. These should be carved in the heart of every son and daughter of Bharat, to be chanted, understood, lived and spread.
Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadayed atmaiva hyatmano bandhu.
Lift yourself by yourself. Simple. Direct. No room for excuses. Having lifted a little into the higher values of life, Natmanam avasadayet, having lifted to at least some amount of spiritual growth, don't fall back again to the old immoral ways of living. Preciously maintain the improvement that you are gaining. Imagine you are climbing a steep cliff. In the beginning, when you are at the bottom, a fall doesn't really matter. But 50 feet up, one slip, and you are back on the ground with 22 fractures. So be alert, Keep climbing. Don't fall. Don't look down upon yourself. Never say, I'm useless. Never allow yourself to sink into that mental swamp of negativity. Why? Because you carry the power to rise. Nobody else can help you. It is a pilgrimage of the alone to the alone, all alone. It is a subjective self-unfoldment.
Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om, Namaskar, welcome everyone. Today marks a very special moment in our journey. Across the world, Chinmaya Mission is celebrating the 75th anniversary of its founding, what we call as Amrit Mahotsav. It's not just a milestone, but a celebration of living legacy. Over 75 years ago, a young Swami Chinmayanand set out with a simple but powerful vision, to bring the timeless wisdom of our scriptures to the masses. What began with a few talks has today become a global movement. Just to give you some numbers, 350 centers like this globally, over 1,000 publications that are out there for everyone to relish and enjoy, over 1,000 study centers, different study groups that have been formed globally that are ongoing, over 100 educational institutions, and over half a dozen healthcare institutions as well. So it's one powerful vision of a visionary, our Puja Gurudev. So why are we here, you may ask? As part of this Amrit Mahotsav, Chinmaya Mission Pittsburgh is joining this movement of celebrating Gurudev through the Chinmaya Amrit Yatra. So today we are fortunate enough to hear from a few of the folks here, our respected elders, and Geeta and Kumar, who have had the opportunity to be in his presence, to be in Gurudev's presence. Geeta and Kumar grew up. Gurudev used to visit Pittsburgh, visit their home, so they've had the blessing of being in his company. Visalam Auntie has had the opportunity, along with Dharmaraj and Uncle, to not only help put his vision into practice, what you see as Chinmaya Mission Pittsburgh today, but then carry on his legacy by offering different study groups that Dharmarajan Uncle and Auntie together used to, convey. And Aunties, of course, used to nourish and still continues to nourish all of us as the elder in the community. And right over here, we have Jagdish Uncle, and they have been the pillar of our community. They are the ones that really got us started, along with Dharmarajan Uncle and other seniors. So Jagdish Uncle and Vasant Uncle, our pranams to you, as well as to you, Visalam Auntie. So the first question is for both of you. Can you narrate what was it like, your first encounter with Gurudev, and what was that experience like? If you could share with all of us, I think we would really appreciate that.
Well, I was a young teenager when my dad asked me to come to speak, and Gurudev was there. My dad's experience was with Jagdish Uncle having hosted Gurudev to come to his house, and then we had him speak at different locations. But the one thing my father told me, that he said, be prepared. He said, Kumar, he said, this is a sadhu that speaks in English. Because we were so accustomed to sadhus or, the priests speaking in Gujarati, Hindi, different languages. But he said, it will appeal to you, beta, because he speaks in English. And when he brought me in, we sat down, we talked. And of course, being a young, dubious, doubting teenager, it was shocking to hear his loud, booming voice in English. And he spoke right through your bones. He spoke right to you to sort of say, to sort of explain these difficult concepts. And as a teenager, it was extremely difficult for me to get through it. But to be, as my father said, beta, come 10 times, but the one day that it speaks to you, it speaks to your soul, he said, it will be worth every day, every hour you've spent. And he said, come with me and, uncle and auntie, come, experience this loud voice that's going to speak to you and open wisdom up to you that you did not have access to before. It was very, 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 enlightening. Just that you could hear a sadhu speak in English. That was very, very enlightening to us, and it spoke to us.
Back then, it was a very small community, so having someone who spoke English, and I was quite a youngster like these little ones here at that age, so it was really just seeing someone in that. The thing I remember as my first inclination was the booming and thunderous voice that he had. It was really amazing. But to be also honest, we didn't know, and I think Kumar and I speak of this, the presence of these Swamijis that would come through, and Swami Chinmaya and Gurudev came through. We didn't realize the magnanimous, the generosity, his knowledge. He spoke very clearly, and we were in the presence of greatness, and we really didn't realize it. But we understood what he was trying to get across, his message. And I think these uncles and my dad and uncle, they wanted to pass down, they had a vision, they wanted to pass down that knowledge to us. And I think also we've tried to pass it down to our kids now. And I think there's value in that.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So from those first moments, it sounds like something powerful started to take shape. And Vasant Uncle, I want to go to you next if you would like to share. What was it like, to even think about having a center in Pittsburgh? What did that look like? How did that vision even start to take shape?
Yeah. So what happened, first time I met Gurudev in 1978. At that time I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know much about Chinmaya mission those days. I was raising a family with 2 kids, and then first time a friend of mine invited us that we have one Swamiji coming from India, and would you like to come and see him? I said, yeah, I'll definitely come, and then we went there, and so my wife was only maybe we have only about 5 or 6 family. We didn't have that much Indian population those days anyhow. But after that, Swamiji discussed with us a lot of things, and he had some ideas also. And Pittsburgh being small town, we didn't have that many people involved with Chinmaya mission in those days, but like Boston or Dallas in California, people knew that. So we were thinking that, and we have Jagdish Bhai, Som Sharma, myself, and we were just getting into this thing, and Swami had an idea that we should have something in Pittsburgh, So we always try, and Dharmarajan and I were working in the same company, and I said, Dharmarajan, we should do something about that, and then we looked so many places, even in South Hills, that we can find something, and start a thing,
We learned a lot of things by watching Gurudev. It's easy to say follow, but he did set an example for us. He stayed with us in our house for 1 week, or anytime he's traveling here and there, he will stop by. So we could see how he lives, how his life was. I will just give you some example of that one. First of all, he was a voracious reader. When he came stayed, we have to get him the Time magazine, New York Times, some other Newsweek, and we'll leave it in his room.
Does the new article I'm working on look good? Let me see. It's pretty good. Our readers love bold stories. I want an article exposing these so-called saints living in the Himalayas. Perfect assignment, sir. I've always wondered why people so blindly follow these monks.
Wait, Balan, you're actually going to the Himalayas?
Yes, someone must investigate what really happens in those ashrams. Exactly. I will go there, interview these gurus, and reveal the truth.
Wait, but people say that the sages over there are enlightened masters.
Enlightened? Or just clever storytellers? My job is to ask questions. Yes, that's the spirit. Ask questions.
Still, the Himalayas is not like our city life.
Don't worry, I'll bring back facts, not fantasies. Excellent. Pack your bags, Balan. The story of the year awaits. Young man, you look deep in thought. Where are you traveling? I'm going to the Himalayas to investigate the saints and monks. Ah, many seekers go there searching for truth. I'm not a seeker, I'm a journalist. What do you hope to discover? Whether spirituality is genuine wisdom or just superstition. Many people go there with doubts. Good. Doubt is healthy. But the mountains sometimes answer in unexpected ways. I doubt the mountains will change my mind. Perhaps not, but they might change your heart.
Om Namah Shivaya. Welcome to the ashram, traveler.
Thank you. I'm a journalist from the city.
Many visitors come here seeking peace.
I'm here to interview a guru and learn what spirituality really means.
Please sit here. I will inform him.
Somebody came here to see you.
Om Namo Narayana. Is you here, my child?
Swamiji, I want to understand spirituality.
Wisdom cannot be understood through only questions.
Then how can it be understood?
By living, observing, and experiencing.
Are you suggesting I stay here?
Yes, stay here for some time. Watch the life here. Discover the truth yourself.
Kashi with Swami Tapovan.
Vedanta is not information, it is transformation.
Master, I wish to know the truth.
Then study, contemplation, and discipline is required.
We wake up at 4 a.m. every day. 4 a.m.?
Hari Om. Knowledge does not seek an audience. Truth does not require applause. In these next 100 days, we will study the Keno Upanishad. But before we do that, let us learn to be Hindus. To be a Hindu does not mean just to perform rituals or do japam. It means inner transformation. And how will we get that inner transformation? It will come from our Shastras. That is why we study the Keno Upanishad, so that we can learn to be true Hindus. Today too. Yesterday, there was silence in this hall, but today there is seeking. It does not matter how many come. The knowledge and the brightness of knowledge shines just as well. Even if a few come with sincerity, we have accomplished our goal.
Gurudev tava mahaniya kripa Gurudev tava mahaniya kripa mere jeevan ka avalamban hai bas
When we began this yajna, there was silence. Now there is a gathering. But remember, it was never about the size of the crowd, but the depth of the inner transformation.
If even one mind has become clearer, if even one heart has become lighter, then this Jnana Yajna has served its purpose. We've gone from emptiness to fullness, from effort to grace. That is the path of Yajna. I thank you all for coming, not for being here, but for being seekers of truth. Om Tat Sat.
Have touched our hearts. They've transformed our lives. We want to take this light moving forward.
Swamiji, we would like to start a mission, and we would like to name it Chinmaya Mission in your honor.
My name is not important, but in Sanskrit, Chinmaya means immersed in knowledge. If the mission disseminates knowledge, if it provides light to society, if it uplifts, then we can move forward.
Swamiji, it is your vision that has awakened us. Your ideals have guided us, and we would like to follow the Vedanta life as how you have taught us.
This is not my vision. It is the vision of the great rishis. I'm a messenger. But if this mission is able to help society, to provide the information, the knowledge of Vedanta, then it is something we should pursue.
मेरा बल है गुरुदेव
Swamiji, I am Chota Kumar. I have one question for you. I have done many illegal and criminal activities in my life. I have never been caught. Will I go to heaven or will I go to hell?
My son, Bhagavan protects all his creations through his grace. My son, you will go to heaven after you die.
I'm not even worthy of coming back to this ashram. If I need to see you, where can I find you?
Child, close your eyes and look inside your heart. That is where you will find me.
Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Trigunarahitam Tattvamasyadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatetam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Kannamami.
Are we all ready for Swamiji, to receive Swamiji? We have the Arati ready and everything? Yes? Good. Swamiji should be arriving very shortly. Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Let's walk. I'll show you the Swamiji, there's such water shortage in Chinmaranyam ashram. We've dug wells in so many places, but there's just no sign of water, Swamiji.
Bring a chair, please. Place the chair here. Can you bring a glass of water?
Sure, Swamiji. Why did Swamiji walk all this way here, ask for a chair, ask for water, drink just so little, and drop the rest of the water on the ground? This spot, this is the spot that Swamiji has shown us where we will find water.
Amma, how did Swamiji know?
You know, Swamiji is a Mahapurusha. He knew where Ganga Devi flows beneath this earth.
Gurudev tava mahaniya.
Welcome everyone.
Anandamaya Chaitanyamaya Chinmaya Gurudev Anandamaya Chaitanyamaya Chinmaya Gurudev Anandamaya Chaitanyamaya Chinmaya Gurudev Anandamaya Chaitanyamaya Chinmaya Gurudev Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada.
Hariom everyone. Last week, you remember we were talking about how Lakshmanji is talking to Lord Rama. They're all in Panchavati. And we are talking about the Rama Gita, right? Lakshmanji looks at his brother and says, I know you are my brother in this avatar, but you are like Lord who created this whole universe. And so you are Bhagavan to me too. I have questions. So can you answer my question? And of course, Lakshmanji sits in front of Lord Rama. And he's the perfect student. He comes there with humility. And what he asked Rama? He asked, give me that ultimate devotion, unwavering devotion is what I would like from you.
Omkaramaya Rinkaramaya Omkaramaya Rinkaramaya Omkaramaya Rinkaramaya Omkaramaya Rinkaramaya Satkaramaya Gurudev Satkaramaya Gurudev Satkaramaya Gurudev Satkaramaya Gurudev Vedantamaya Siddhantamaya Vedantamaya Siddhantamaya वेदान्तमय सिद्धान्तमय शुद्धान्तमय गुरुदेव शुद्धान्तमय गुरुदेव ब्रह्ममय गुरुदेव शिवमय गुरुदेव ब्रह्ममय गुरुदेव शिवमय गुरुदेव ब्रह्ममय गुरुदेव कृष्णमय गुरुदेव ब्रह्ममय गुरुदेव कृष्णमय गुरुदेव तपोमय गुरुदेव चिन्मय गुरुदेव तपोमय
ओम अव्ययाय नमः ओम अविनाशिने नमः ओम आचार्याय नमः ओम अचिन्त्याय नमः ओम अप्रमेयाय नमः ओम अद्वितीयाय नमः ओम अनिकेतनाय नमः ओम अनुशासनप्रियाय नमः ओम अंतस्साक्षिणे नमः ओम अंतर्यामिने नमः ओम आनन्दाय नमः ओम आत्मस्वरूपाय नमः ओम आङ्ग्लभाषविदुत्तमाय नमः ओम ऐश्वर्याय नमः ओम ईश्वराय नमः ओम उदारहृदयाय नमः ओम उत्साहवर्धुपाय नमः ओम चिन्मयानन्दाय
ओम
नमो
नित्यशुद्ध बुद्ध मुक्त स्वरूपाय नमः
ओम चिन्मयानन्दाय नमो नमः
ओम नित्यशुद्ध बुद्ध मुक्त स्वरूपाय नमः ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः।